Hello, good morning, everyone. Good to see you. Welcome. Welcome to Shaar Habitachon. Wait for people to start getting on. Colors are very interesting today. Good morning. Be great to see where everyone's going to be joining us from today. -20 in Toronto. Glorious, beautiful day. Thank you, Hashem, for such magnificence. Hey, good morning, Francesca. Francesca, please tell us what's the weather in Italy today. Good morning, Athene. Hi, Becky. What's it like in Israel? Evelyn, what's it like in Toronto? Good morning, Marilyn. What's it like in Florida? Oh, you're back. All right. What's it like in Toronto, Marilyn? Good morning, everybody. Please share with us where you are joining from as we wait for all our friends to be joining. The color's a little funny, isn't it? I don't know. Good morning, Corinne. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you joining. We're going to start off by giving tzedakah. Everyone grab a tzedakah box. Gedola tzedakah shebekareves geula. Put in that coin daily. Okay, warm summer, 9 months of the year. Becky, that's where we are all supposed to be living today in Yerushalayim. I know, very bright colors. Hey, good morning, Evelyn from the North Pole. But look how bright it is here in the North Pole. Oh, she says it's blurry. I don't know. I don't know. Internet is like that. I don't know what to do. Anyway, we'll just live with it today. Okay. Good morning, Marilyn. Alrighty, good. Tell me, how is everyone with a thumbs up? How are you feeling? Are you positive, energetic? Are you re-energized? Kids are going back to school on Monday. Just give me a mood. I want to know the mood. Hello, Hannah. Good morning, Linda. Linda, how are you feeling today? Give me a thumbs up or a heart if you're feeling positive and motivated and all gung-ho for a beautiful Tuesday morning. We are lucky we are living in a country that gives us beautiful liberty. We have energy in our home. We have warmth. And for those of us who know people that don't have warmth, we have to go out and help them. Just a little reminder that we're collecting scarves and winter gear up till January 30th, which we're heading downtown to decorate the downtown neighborhood with winter things for the homeless. So feel free to drop things off here at Chabad Markham. Good morning, Rosalie. Good morning, Shirley. Good morning, Ava. Good morning, Barb. Great to see you all. Give me a thumbs up if you're feeling good. Rosalie, let me see with an emoji how you're feeling this morning. Are you feeling all positive and pumped up for a little learning? Good morning, Nora. All right, Linda's feeling positive. Always positive. I love that. Hey, good morning, Elise. Elise, you're feeling positive this morning. Show me with some hearts, or not a heart, at least give me a thumbs up how you're feeling. That will gauge our audience today. Yes, Kareem, we want gloves too. Good morning. Elise is feeling good and positive. All right. I'm happy to see we're getting lots of good energy this morning. Hey, hello. Good morning, Helga. And I think Esther's there too. Oh, the two of you. Hey, Helga, tell me, how are you and Esther feeling today? Show me with the comments or with emojis. Hello, Barb. Good morning. Karina always looks at the bright side. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then today's class is just for you. For all of you positive women out there, today's class is for you. We're going to, of course, start off with Tehillim, and we're going to say Tehillim for all of you, for all of those who need a Refuah Shalema. Yesterday was my birthday. I turned 25. I know I'm aging myself, but then, got to admit my age. So I started a new chapter Tehillim today. That was actually on Sunday, so I'm in a high energy, right? Every year gives you new energy, new purpose, new meaning. Made halata to keep teaching online and to sharing Shaar Habitachon. So I'm glad you're with me on the journey. Okay, good morning, Naomi. Okay, Yosef Ben Blima, Esther. Okay, if we have any more Tehillim. Sharon, good morning. Okay, Rosie's feeling concerned, but she's breathing in Emunah and Bitachon. Yes, we'll do that in a second. Thank you. Helga, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Frecha bat Chana, Sarah bat Chaya. Okay, Yaakov Moshe ben Necha, Adam ben Tzipora. Hi, Karen. Good morning. Okay, Yehuda bas Sarah, Rachel bas Sarah, Yitzchak Moshe ben Rachel Reza, Tzipora Hinda bas Rachel Miriam, Sarah bas Chana, Chana Devorah bas Golda Basya, Menucha bas Emmanuel, Sarah bas Rivka, Miriam bat Judith, Yisrael ben Esther Golda, Yitzchak Yehuda ben Miriam, Nechamadina bas Esther Hadassah, Henya Tzipora bas Chayu Cheved, Flora bat Rachel, Nechamadina bas Esther Hadassah, Henya Tzipora bas Chayu Cheved, Tuvi Moshe ben Perol Iran, Bracha bas Shenda Leah, Rivka bas Chafitza, Leah bas Chafitza, Tzvi ben Chana, Chana bas Freda, and Nachum ben Alta, Baruch ben Chaya Sarah. All these names that we just said, we should see tremendous, tremendous miracles and tremendous revealed blessings for everyone. And we should be able to share Baruch ben Chaya Sarah. We should be able to share the good news with everybody. Okay, here we go. Lamanatseach, say it with me, by now you should know it already. Lamanatseach mizmor leDavid, Yancha dinabi Sarah, Yisagefcha Shema Yaakov, Yishach Ezrecha Mikodesh, Mitzian Yisadeka, Yiskar Kom Chasecha, Velasi Dashin Sela, Yitin Lecha Chovecha, Vachol Atzascha Yimale, Miranda Beshua Secha, V'Shem Elohim Nido, Yimale Adonai, Kamal Shala Secha, Ati Adati Ki Asher Adonai Mishicha, Yene Mishmekachab Gurus Yeshayimino, Ela Varecha, Vela Vasus, Vanachnu B'Shem Adonai Naskir, Hema Karvan Afal, Vanachnu Kamen Minnesota, Adonai Hashia, Hamelech Haneinu V'Yom Karenu. I have to say, this is so bittersweet when I say it with this tune. So I'm sitting in shul now. Zalman used to stand right there by the bima, and he used to say Tehillim. For those of you who were in shul, you'll remember. You give me a thumbs up if you remember him saying this. And Zalman, as you know, was my special little boy. And he used to start with this. Lam Yaakov, he got the first and the last word of the entire chapter 20. And when he would finish, the entire shul would erupt in a huge applause on Shabbos with a big Yasher Koyach. So here's for Zalmi, Baruch Zalman and Esther Golda, precious little boy. You think of him every second. Okay, so open up your Shaar Habitachon to page 126, for those of you who have it. And we are in middle of chapter 4. And we finished last week. We don't usually finish what we're supposed to do. But we spoke about, of course, thanking Hashem and partnering with God. We said we always have to partner with God because every blessing from God is a relationship with God. Think about that. You can write that down. Every blessing from God starts with a relationship. So for those of you who want to instill this bitachon in yourself, building a relationship is step one. And how do we build relationships? Put it down in the comments. How do we build relationship with God? I'd love to hear your opinions and your input. How do we build a relationship? Because we spoke about, not putting ourselves in danger and how does that work? Like, if you're in a relationship with God, you should be able to do anything, right? But Hashem, we spoke about last week, tells us we're not allowed to put ourselves in danger. So I'd like to leave that question hanging in the air. And for those of you who want to answer, feel free to do so. Good morning, Joanne. Good morning, Pauline. Good morning, Helen. Good morning, Julia. Good morning, Chava. Okay. With mitzvot, with tefillah, excellent, Becky. By doing mitzvot, sima, exactly. We build a relationship through prayers, exactly. Very good. Guys, you're on the roll. So these are all things that we have to do on a regular basis, and then we have a relationship. And once you have a relationship, then we get the brachas. Chava says communication. So Chava, what does communication look like to you? Rosalie says doing mitzvahs and davening. Yep. Chana says tzedakah. Okay. Karine says praying and talking to Hashem, making him part of our life. Oh, I love that. Making him part of our life. Okay. Hello, good morning, Linda. Okay, so today we're going to talk about something very interesting that a lot of you are thinking, and I know I think about that. Becky says learning Torah. You know, we spoke about, Becky, that when you learn Torah, in Tanya tells us when you learn Torah, you actually connect with Hashem in the deepest way because you're connecting with God's soul and you become one with Hashem. We said mitzvahs is like clothing, but Talmud Torah is like food. And food, once you internalize it, it becomes part of you. Mitzvahs is clothing. Clothing you could take on or off. But once you learn Torah, it becomes part of who you are, and you can never disconnect Hashem from you. You become one. Okay, so we talk here about connecting Hashem and making Hashem part of us. Hi, Jenny, good morning. But what does it mean? And this is a question I want to ask you. I'm going to pose the question. I'd love to have your answers. What happens when everything seems to fail? You connect through Torah, you connect through tzedakah, you connect through prayer, you connect through mitzvahs. What happens when everything seems to fail? And Rabbeinu Bachaya, the author, is a very realistic man. And he asks this question. What happens when you feel like you're doing everything? So Becky says, these are nisyonot. Yes, these are tests. And Hashem tests those that are close to him. He tests us. It's like they did a study with children. And it was a study testing children's endurance and their capacity for higher IQ learning. And they gave two sets of children. One set of children got a very average basic puzzle that was very simple, and they knew the kids could manage it within a minute. And they gave another group of children tests with puzzles. They gave them a 10-piece puzzle, and then they gave them a 20-piece puzzle, then they gave them a 40-piece puzzle, and they kept giving harder, more complicated puzzles. And they noticed that the children that got harder puzzles said to the teacher, "Thank you for challenging me. Thank you for challenging me." Wow. Which means we are ready to be tested. And I'm going to read some of these beautiful comments that you're reading. Appreciation of the blessings in our lives. Okay, there's a different message Hashem is telling us. Maybe something better is on the way. I love that, Naomi. Sima says, keeping the faith. Our lives are in Hashem's hands. And Rosalie says, have to trust that all is for the good. You can't see the big picture. Exactly. And because Hashem tests us, it means Hashem has a very strong connection, and he loves us, and he knows that we're ready for the higher level puzzle. This morning when I walked in, -20. I know, Francesca and Becky, you won't believe this, but it is -20 here. And I came in, I was shaking, and I have to get the door and the kids ready. And I said to one of my teachers, I said, I think Hashem loves those of us who live in Toronto. He tests us more. Like the people that are good and are easy, he puts them in Florida where they wake up every morning to, +20. But those of us who really loves, he challenges us and he tests us. And maybe it's hard for us and we go, why Hashem? But maybe you're right. Maybe we don't see the picture. Maybe Hashem is just testing us. So let's see what Rabbeinu Bachya says. You guys have great input. Let me see what Rabbeinu Bachya says. He says, what if a man puts in all his effort for parnasa and he's not successful? So he says, if he does not obtain his livelihood through those means with which he put his efforts, then he should consider two things. That perhaps his daily sustenance is already in his possessions, and he simply did not pay attention to it. Alternatively, it is possible that his livelihood will come to him through another means, something in which he did not put in effort. So I don't know if you know the story of the fish. When a big fish, is out to collect his food in the morning, so he starts chasing baby fish. And you would assume that after you open up the belly of the big fish, what would you see inside? You would see that all the fish are facing the same direction as the big fish, because the big fish is chasing and the little fish is running away. So the big fish and the little fish are facing the both same direction. But the fisherman, and if you know a fisherman, or if you are yourself someone who catches fish, you'll know that when you open the belly of the fish, lo and behold, the fish, there are a few that are maybe facing that direction, but most of the fish are facing this direction. What does that mean? That means that even the big fish that are out there, and don't forget, Hashem is in charge of every living thing, not just humans, but animals and fish and every insect. Hashem is in charge of them. That's what Hashgacha Pratis, the Baal Shem Tov, taught us. So even when the fish is doing his shtadlus, and he's going to get the fish, Hashem throws in the other fish for him as well. Hashem helps make his shtadlus, which means we have to go out there and make the effort. Remember that word, guys? Give me a thumbs up if you remember that word. Hishtadlut. We all have to make the energy. We all have to make the effort. But many times Hashem says, you made the effort. I'll throw it in for you for free. I'll help you. And Hashem is always there. So we think that we're putting in all our effort and it's all because of us, because we're so incredible. We think that we do everything and that's why we're getting back. Hashem says, no. You just have to put in hishtadlus. Save time for doing mitzvahs. Save time for going out to help the poor and helping the lonely and picking up the phone. Make time for that. Don't say at the end of the day, I work from 9 to 7 and I don't have time to do a mitzvah. You're overworking, my friends. You're overworking. The whole purpose of this book that we were learning is that we all have to put in our effort, but we don't have to kill ourselves to make money. Okay, remember this. We don't have to kill ourselves to make money. We have to work a normal amount, and then at the end of the day, Hashem gives us exactly that parnasa that is with us. Karine says something interesting. Karine says, God is always in the background watching and guiding. I love that, Karine. I love that. Good morning, Denise. So basically, there's another line I want you to write down and to remember. It's your responsibility, but let it be God's burden. Wow. Wow. How many of you love this? I love it. It's your responsibility, but let it be God's burden. And the author is basically telling you, humble yourself in front of Hashem. So yes, you've got to have the responsibility. Go out there, try to get the jobs, go for the interviews, make the shtadlus, work your kishkas off, to make that vessel. And then God carries the burden. And I'll tell you why this works. Because when you let go and let God, then Hashem kicks in more. Because he knows that you are someone that has Habitachon, and the promise of this sefer is that when you let Hashem in your life, when you breathe in Habitachon, and you let out anxiety, Hashem is there. But when you say, throw up your hands and go, God, I've got it, I don't need you. It's all under control. You can go help someone else. He does. We always need Hashem. So basically, the vessel serves as a proof that God pays attention to the needs of those who trust in him. So you have to make the vessel. That's the key. We cannot say, oh, well, I'm not going to make a vessel. I really trust God. I trust God even more. Those people go to work and make a vessel. I don't even make a vessel. I'm just going to sit on the beach and wait for things to happen. That, my friends, is not Habitachon. Habitachon is do your bit, and Hashem will do his. So I'm going to share with you a funny story. It's actually just a little joke. I jotted it down. It says how to get rich. You ready? Okay. How to get rich. I'll tell you. You can say you heard it here first. How to get rich. Okay. A young man asked an old rich man how he made his money. The old guy fingered his wool vest and said, "Well, son, it was 1932, the depth of the Great Depression, and I was down to my last nickel. I invested that nickel in an apple. I spent the entire day polishing the apple, and at the end of the day, I sold the apple for 10 cents. The next morning, I invested those 10 cents in 2 apples. I spent the entire day polishing them, and I sold them at 5 p.m. for 20 cents. I continued the system for a month, and by the end of the month, I'd accumulated a fortune, $1.37. And then my wife's father died and left us $2 million. What a great story. You have to do your shtadlus, and then Hashem could just send you the gift another way. And as I reiterated before, what Rabbeinu Bechaya says, I know you like that joke. He says like this: you do your bit, go out, buy those apples, polish them, hustle, get up in the morning, buy more apples. But then you have to trust Hashem will find another way. And sometimes it's the rich husband or the rich wife. But at the end of the day, if you're meant to have riches and riches, Hashem will find a way. Okay. So that's my little joke for today. But then we have people who say, by the way, that's why we eat fish on Shabbos. It's one of the reasons we eat fish on Shabbos. It reminds us that those of us who don't work on Shabbat, Hashem has a way of finding you your parnasa. You will find your way of making money. You will get everything you need. You're working hard 5 or 6 days a week, but Shabbat you rest. And that's where Habitachon kicks in. I had a friend, I think I shared this story. I had a friend who said to me recently, I said to her, you work at home. You really cannot see, if you wanted, you could stop seeing clients on Saturday and tell them it's your Shabbat. She goes, how could I do that? The money I make on Shabbat helps me with my bills. I said, but maybe you would have less bills, like extra bills, if you didn't work on Shabbat. She goes, no, that money covers my bills. And then a few weeks later, she sends me a message. She goes, you see, I want to prove to you that I need to work on Shabbat. My car broke down this week, and thank God I worked on Shabbat because everything I worked on this Saturday covered my car bill. And I said to her, sweet friend, you missed the point. Perhaps if you didn't work on Shabbos, your car would not have broken down. Perhaps it could have, but all your money from that Shabbat went to pay the bill. Hashem tells us, and he promises, you don't have to work on Shabbos. Trust in me, and you will see that every single penny you make during the rest of the week will be used for good things. Emetz Hashem. So it's hishtadlus plus bitachon, and not working on Shabbos. Okay, we're getting somewhere, guys. We're getting somewhere. So we now spoke about our livelihood. I want to get on to another subject that really, really concerns us. And if you know what I'm talking about, put it in the comments. What's the next thing that sits on people's minds all the time? Is wealth, or what's the other thing? Health. Every single one of us thinks about it all the time. So don't worry. Rabbeinu Bechaya, he talks about this as well. He talks about health. And he says like this, and I love what he says. We as well must, look how you all said the exact same thing. Health, 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 health. So let's talk about health right now. Okay, we still have time. Okay. Hashem wants us to make our hishtadlus, which means we must be healthy. We must take care of our nutrition. We must take care of getting all our vaccinations. We've got to wear those masks. We've got to do social distancing. We got to do what we have to do. We have to go make sure that we eat healthy food. We eat nutritious food. We take our vitamins. We have to do that. That's called hishtadlus. Hishtadlus in health. But then what happens after that? After that, we have to trust in Hashem. Now, does that mean not going to doctors? Wrong. Hashem created doctors and gave them a blessing. Rapo yirapeh. And Hashem says to doctors, you will be given the gift of healing. My problem is when doctors start giving prognosis. And that by that I mean they tell you how many weeks left you have to live. We all know many people that have surpassed the deadline of their doctors. I find it an absolute chutzpah for a doctor to act like he is God. A doctor is a messenger from Hashem, just like your job is here as the vessel for Hashem. The doctor is there because God acts in nature. And that's why we must go to doctors. And in fact, the Rebbe always used to say, go to doctors that care for you. A rofe yedid. Have you ever heard that expression? A rofe yedid. Choose a doctor that cares for you for two reasons. Hey, number one, he'll work hard and work harder because you're invested in his life. But number two, he trusts in Hashem. And when he can have trust in Hashem, plus your trust in Hashem, two positives will give you an incredible result. So I want to read to you two letters that the Rebbe sent to people. And I love it, and I need to share it with you because it's so, as we know, the Rebbe was one of the most positive people you will ever find that lived on this earth. When a person relies on the Creator, he will heal from his illness. The Lubavitch Rebbe writes, and he answers the letter that someone asked him a question about health. The Rebbe says, you're right about your health concerns. It is known that the Torah, which is the Torah of life, Torat Chayim, right? Eitz Chayim he, right? Directs us with the verse, and he shall surely be healed. Meaning that a doctor is given the permission to heal. It is therefore obvious that the person must fulfill the directives of an expert doctor in the field. At the same time, he must clearly understand that it is God who is the healer of all flesh and does this wonderfully. A certain person or specific medicine is only God's messenger. Therefore, he must first be certain that he is healing his spiritual ailments, thereby causing a greater connection to Hashem, and subsequently restores physical health in all limbs. So going back to what I asked you before, hi Deborah, basically Hashem said like this, you trust in me, and I will make sure the doctor has the medicine he needs to heal you. And what you all said before is Tehillim, Torah learning mitzvahs. So that's why we all of us here, let me ask you a question. How many of you say Tehillim every single day? Your chapter Tehillim. And what does your chapter Tehillim mean? It's according to your age. So believe it or not, I had to go up a chapter on Sunday. My chapter was 59, wait a second. My gosh, I am now 58. So my chapter used to be 58. My God, that was a senior moment. My chapter used to be 58, but now that I am 58, my chapter is 59. So depending how old you are, if you're 30, you are chapter 31. If you're 40, your chapter is 41. If you're 52, your chapter is 53. If you're 61, your chapter is 62. You get the drift? Okay. So you have to say your chapter Tehillim every single day. Now, I'll tell you what I do. I say all my children's Tehillim, my grandchildren's Tehillim, my husband's, say my parents, the Rebbe's, and my son-in-laws and daughter-in-laws. And I say chapter 20 for everyone that's not well. That's a lot of Tehillim. But saying Tehillim gives, like we said here, what does Rebbe Machai say? It gives an extra protection for health. It's like, for example, you send your child to school on a cold day today. You didn't just send them in a jacket, but you sent them in a coat and hat and gloves and layers of scarves. Why? Because you protected them. That's what Tehillim does to us. And this is straight from the Rebbe's letter. God is the healer of all flesh, and he does this job wonderfully. Okay, in another letter, the Lubavitch Rebbe writes like this. Okay, and this is an answer that the Rebbe gives to someone. He says, you requested a blessing for healing from an eye disease and for your wife. When I will be at the resting place of my esteemed father-in-law, so the Rebbe says, when I go to the Ohel, I will mention both of you for healing. I hope you'll be able to report good news to me in this matter. Each Jew must fashion vessels through which to receive God's blessings. Therefore, if you have not done so until now, you should now begin reciting Psalms every day. The portion of Psalms that was allotted for each particular day of the month. So another thing that I do is I say the Tehillim of the month. So today is, let's say, today's test, the 9th of Shvat. So you take the chapters in Tehillim that align themselves with the 9th. Right? Remember I said the whole Tehillim is divided into 30 for each day of the month. So today is the 9th, so you say all the chapters that are that say under Yom 9. Therefore, if you have not done so until now, you should now begin reciting Psalms each day. The portion of Psalms that was allotted for each particular day of the month, so that the entire book of Psalms is completed during the course of a month. You should also study the daily portion of Chumash, so that the weekly portion is completed during the course of the week. Okay, so what does the Rebbe say? Each Jew must fashion vessels through which to receive God's blessing. Therefore, if you have not done so until now, you should now begin reciting Psalms each day, the portion of Psalms that was allotted for each particular day of the month, and the Tehillim. Wow. The Rebbe gives an actual schedule. He says, you want to get well? Align yourself with Hashem. What do you got to do? Say the Tehillim of the day, say the Chumash of the day. It's very clear. You go to the doctor, he tells you take this and this and this. Denise says, do I sleep? It's funny, but you know when I say Tehillim? I say Tehillim while I'm waiting on the phone. So if let's say I'm online with someone, I'll quickly say Tehillim. Anytime that I'm waiting at the, Denise, that Green Lane train, I have a Tehillim sitting right there. I say my Tehillim. So I say Tehillim during these times. I'm cooking and I'm waiting something to be ready. I say my Tehillim. I know a lot of us like to scroll down, Facebook and social media, but first I'll finish my Tehillim, and I do that while I'm waiting. You know what I'm saying? Because we all have lull parts in our day. We're sitting in a doctor's office, you're waiting for something. Instead of flipping through the magazines, you wait. These are the times that I wait. Actually, I learned this from my mother, because whenever she's at a red light, she always says Tehillim, and then the cars behind her go beep, beep, because she's busy saying Tehillim. But we have a lot of Tehillim to say in our family. Okay, so this is basically the guideline for today. Create vessels, saying Tehillim, aligning yourself with Hashem, and we'll sum it up with 2 words, okay? Trusting in Hashem brings you your allotted fortune, and you know that it will not go to someone else, so you could relax, okay? But there's 2 steps for wealth. Number 1, have Habitachon and have a job. Secrets for health, have Habitachon and have a doctor. Those are not a contradiction. But those are, what do we say? Write it down. What are those things? Vessels. We have to have vessels in order to see Hashem's blessing. Wishing you all a phenomenal day. And next week, I'm going to share with you the story of my brother, who today is a shliach in the Bronx, an incredible boy, one of my favorite brothers, and you know that I have 6. We are 13 months apart. He had a miraculous recovery at the age of 2. And next week I will speak about the recovery. Have a wonderful week.